Hey, yo, what's up? So, I wanted to talk about performative optimism. The thing that everyone, I guess, online really, or just normies in general, right, will like to kind of talk. It's their method of communication, right? So, you know how it's basically just selling false hope, right? And just saying, oh, just be confident, bro. That kind of stuff, right? Saying, oh, you'll get a girlfriend when you least expect it, bro. Just stop trying. That kind of stuff, right? You know it when it's those things you know it when you see it, right? They'll basically uh they'll fake being positive, right? Just or overly nice, but you can tell that it's fake and it's not actually genuine or it just doesn't make sense, right? Or it's just delusional positiveness, that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff is just it just doesn't align with the real world unless you are living a privileged life, right? Unless you already have the looks privilege, right, of meeting the bare minimum, right? Then that kind of stuff doesn't exist. If you don't meet the bare minimum, if you're below average, if you're significantly below average, you're not going to live a life where that kind of stuff happens, right? Where these platitudes, these false positive beliefs, this fake optimism, right? Because it's not even being optimistic; it's being being fake optimistic or whatever, right? It's that because it's not real. So I basically the to get to the point, I asked it, why is performative optimism so prevalent, especially among social media self improvement grifters who try to sell courses and online coaching? And it's a performative optimism is everywhere because it's profitable, protective, and algorithmically rewarded, especially in the self improvement space. The self improvement, right? Because it's funny, right? Because these guys are saying, "Oh, bro, this is self improvement," right? But the thing is, they think they can decide what self improvement is when they really don't. Because let's be honest, every guy just wants to self improve to get laid. That's the honest to God truth, right? What is the point? If you break it down fundamentally, everything you do is basically just to try to become a better mate, to have better mating options, right? That's basically what you're trying to do, and you know you don't get to decide that then, right? Women get to decide what is self improvement. You don't get to decide, oh yeah, bro, I don't even know what it is. Make more money, bro, and then right, sure, maybe making more money can be, I don't, a self improvement, right? But up to a certain point, right, to where you can live comfortably and not have to be stressed out by bills. But eventually, right, more money is going to have diminishing returns where you're just going to spend it hedonistically, right? And it's not actually going to translate into genuine desire, right? That's the thing, right? Because, like I said, everything's going to boil down to wanting to be a better mate, right? Better mating options. And unless you get stupid rich, like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, whatever kind of crazy, stupid amount of money like that, right? Then money is never really going to be, a useful thing, right? To leverage, right? Like, because then you'll know the women just want you for a resource, right? You're just basically beta bucksing, and that's basically everyone knows that meme, right? Of Jeff Bezos getting mogged by that tall actor, right? Where his wife, I think his wife at the time, because I think they got like divorced or something. No surprise, right? Because like think about it, he got mogged by a taller, better looking guy, right? His wife doesn't genuinely desire him, right? That's why she left him, right? So he got mogged and he got divorced, and then yeah, he got. So it's like he's basically just beta bucksing on steroids, right? Because there's no genuine desire. Like you don't have to be, the Chad, right? That black pill and incel cope spaces, whatever, right? They'll cope and gotta be 8 plus, right? It's like you don't have to necessarily be 8 plus, right? But like objectively. Maybe in the eyes of the girl you do have to, but you had the genuine desire has to exist, and obviously it didn't exist because he got mogged and he got divorced there. So it's kind of, the proof is in the pudding, right? So on to the point, right? Optimism sells better than the truth. Hope is a strong purchasing emotion. Is a stronger purchasing emotion than accuracy. If someone says this might not work for you, some people are genuinely blocked by genetics, timing, or social position. That kills conversations or conversions. So yeah, right? It's like, imagine all those guys who are trying to sell self-improvement, the alpha male, just be an alpha male, bro. What if they said, well, this might not work for you because, your genetics obviously just looking at you, I can tell you're not cut out for this because of your genetics. Then that guy's not going to buy his course. But if you don't tell him that, you tell him, oh, bro, just buy my course, bro. And, give me $100 a month and, I'll turn you into an alpha male, bro. You'll go from beta to alpha, bro, and get all the pussy. You'll be a pussy slayer. That kind of stuff. Then, yeah, of course you're going to buy it, right? Because even me as a teenager, I fell for that with some workout plan that they had on like the sidebars. Like I don't even know if they still have them like on it because I just use the internet on my phone basically, never really on a laptop or a desktop. So yeah, how they have ads on the side, and there was an ad for like build muscle to get girls, right? And I was a dumb teenager. Was it I thought, yeah, I gotta get that, cause then I gotta get laid, bro. I'll finally get a girlfriend. But obviously that's not it. Nothing happened when I, bought their plan and did it, right. And then they would gaslight me, oh, bro, you didn't do, you didn't. It's just on you, bro. I mean, to be honest, right, it's mostly I guess thinking back now, I know that yeah, it was on me, but at the same time, right, it's the principle, right, that is incorrect there. Um, so, but if they say anyone can win if they really want it, your mindset is the only thing holding you back, bro, right? The 1 in a million guys that, go from homeless to rich, that's all they got to say, right? But, they're ignoring the fact that what about those other thousands of other guys that are homeless, why weren't they able and they're trying, right? It's not like these other homeless guys are trying to stay homeless, right? And just trying to stay hungry, right? It's like they're not trying to like homeless max, if they could, they would have a meal or something, right? Or want access to, shelter and food, right? It's not like they're trying to stay homeless on purpose, but nope, to that guy, they're just not trying hard enough, bro. Now failure becomes your fault, not the products. That's perfect for selling courses. Performative optimism externalizes responsibility downward. It protects the grifter from accountability. If results don't happen, you didn't apply it hard enough. You weren't consistent. Your energy wasn't aligned. Notice the pattern? Success equals proof the system works, and failure is proof you didn't. So yeah, it's always easier to make the other person the victim and just victim blame, right? And because some people are just victims of circumstance, right? Where you cannot do anything about it. Like this path, it just isn't for you. Your genetics, or whatever, something you don't have control over, can potentially block you from, accessing this path in life, right? Algorithms punish realism. Platforms reward certainty, confidence. Just be confident, bro. Simple narratives, emotional uplift. They punish nuance, structural explanations. It depends, uncomfortable truths. So the creator who says looks, timing, luck, and social capital matter a lot gets buried. The creator who says wake up at 5 a.m., bro, and manifest abundance, bro, gets boosted. Optimism is not truth-based online. It's engagement-based. Optimism is a social conformity signal. Public optimism says, I believe in the system. I am safe, successful, not threatening. I will not make you uncomfortable. Realism, especially about dating, class, looks, or inequality, makes people uneasy. So creators learn optimism equals approval, honesty equals shadow ban plus social friction. So just be a liar, bro. To just lie and gaslight people and tell people who you can't say, the exact word, but significantly below average guys, like the guys who post on "Am I ugly" on Reddit, and you look at their pictures and they say they haven't had a girlfriend and they're 25, and then you can tell like, bro, it's like, I can tell. It's like, when a guy says, "Oh, I'm 25, I never had a girlfriend," it's like, bro, it's like, it's not a secret, right? It's people can tell. Right? Yeah, and then the funny thing is, but people will still gaslight them, and it's more so to fuel your own ego, thinking you're a good person, right? They'll tell that person, "Oh, bro, you what? No way, bro, you're so handsome," right? But meanwhile, the guy, just has to step outside, and what is it? I don't fucking a worm, a bug mogs him, right? It's over. The pug next door mogs him, right? It's over, bro, when pugs mog you. The self-help industry needs infinite customers. The creator admitted some people won't win. Some disadvantages can't be mindset fixed. The ceiling is real. The genetic ceiling, bro. It's over. Then customers would stop buying. The industry would shrink. So the message must always be, you're one insight away. You're one secret trick. I got the one secret trick that'll get you laid, bro. Just buy my course, right? So yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't sell courses. I just sell my OnlyFans account. Yeah. Link in the description. That keeps people paying, hoping, and blaming themselves instead of questioning the product. Performative optimism gaslights struggling people. This is the part people don't like admitting. When someone says, "If I can do it, anyone can," what they're really saying is, if you're failing, then something is wrong with you, right? It's basically covertly blaming the victim, right? And survivorship bias, right? Because, "Oh, bros, it worked for me, it'll work for you," right? So, it's like it's like the homeless guy that made it, right? That he's a billionaire now. He's basically saying, "Oh, if I did it, you can do it." So he's telling other homeless guys that they're just not trying hard enough, right? That it's all their fault, when obviously that's not true. Is it some of them? Sure. I'm sure some homeless people do, just want a homeless max, right? And just stay homeless and collect cans and whatever. But it's so naive to believe that all of them just aren't trying or something like that. That turns structural or situational problems into moral failures. For someone already unseen, struggling, or locked out, this doesn't motivate, it isolates. Why it feels especially fake to you. You're sensitive to this because you notice pattern breaks, you've experienced do everything right, still get nothing. You've seen that attraction, visibility, and opportunity are not evenly distributed. Someone smiles and says, "Just love yourself, bro." Your brain goes, "That doesn't match reality." That's not bitterness, that's pattern recognition. The real reason performative optimism dominates, because it converts better than truth, protects the seller, flatters the audience, silences critique, keeps the system intact. It's not optimism, it's marketing wrapped in morality. And people will turn to do that with anything, right? They'll wrap anything in morality. "Oh, you never had a girlfriend? It's all personality, bro. You're just a bad person. Stop being an incel, bro. You know, uh, you're homeless and not a millionaire. You're just not trying, bro. You're just not trying hard enough, bro. Just keep on grinding harder. Collect those recyclables even harder, bro. You're not out at 1 a.m. collecting recyclables before the other homeless guys get to it. You're not trying hard enough, bro. Just whatever it is. Whatever it is, you're just not trying hard enough, bro. You don't have a mager skull like Jeremy Meeks, bro. You didn't treat your parents hard enough, bro." Mm. Is this why people say just forget about relationships? You'll find one when you least expect it. Because it's kind of related to the performative optimism. That's something people say, right? Just, "You'll find it when you least expect it, bro." Yes. That line exists for the same reason. It's socially convenient, emotionally protective, not actionable advice. It removes so one it removes responsibility from the speaker when someone says, "Just forget about relationships. It'll happen when you least expect it, bro." They're saying, "I don't want to engage with the uncomfortable reality of your situation." It lets them sound supportive without having to think, help, or confront limits. If they admitted attraction isn't evenly distributed, timing, looks, environment, and luck matter, life is all luck and genetics. Some people will try for years and get nothing. They have to sit with your pain. Most people won't. It preserves the myth of a fair system, right? The just world fallacy. That phrase implies love is random but benevolent. Everyone eventually gets a turn, bro. It's just your turn, bro. And she's not yours, it's just your turn. That's not related, but I don't know. People just say that, so it just came to mind. Effort doesn't matter that much. This protects a comforting worldview. Good things happen naturally to good people. Acknowledging that some people are systematically filtered out breaks that illusion. So the phrase functions like emotional duct tape. It works for people it already worked for. People who say this usually met someone young, were already socially visible, were passively attractive enough to be noticed, lived in environments where dating happened to them. For them, least expected means I stopped trying because I didn't have to, right? They mistake privilege of opportunity for wisdom. That's that's the thing for everyone, right? They'll just assume stuff, right? It's like, oh, bro, it worked for me. It's because I'm a good person, right? Oh, I just stopped trying, and then I got a girlfriend, bro. I'm such a wise, moral person, or anything to basically flatter yourself, right? And victim blame. It subtly blames you while sounding kind. Here's the quiet implication. If you're still single, you're trying too hard, right? What wanting connection is framed as desperation. Caring is pathologized. So it's like the whole, oh, bro, you're trying too hard, but oh, you don't you're not approaching anyone, bro. Approach a million girls. But then it's like, oh, bro, you're just too desperate. You're trying too hard, right? It's basically, they just don't like you. So whatever you do is going to be wrong, right? They'll always move the goalpost. So instead of asking, why aren't you being chosen, the blame shifts to you're blocking it by wanting it. That's the double bind. Try, you're desperate. Don't try, nothing changes. They call that letting go. Just let go of the rope, bro. It aligns perfectly with performative optimism. Just like self help grifters, it avoids acknowledging structural barriers. It reframes lack of results as a mindset issue. It offers hope without cost to the speaker. It's non-falsifiable comfort. If nothing happens, see you weren't really letting go. So, it's a lose-lose situation, right? You can never win. Because even if you do take their advice, they'll say you're trying too hard or you didn't do it correctly, right? You should have done it this way, bro. Why it hits harder specifically for you, given what you said before. You're not passively seen. Interactions are forced as transactional. You don't get spontaneous interest. So forget about it isn't neutral advice. It's effectively accept invisibility and call it growth. It should be a Casper cell, bro. That feels insulting because it is. Donna's translation, when people say it'll happen when you least expect it, what they usually mean is, I don't know how to help. Your reality scares me. I need to believe the system works. Not here's a strategy, here's an environment change, here's what actually increases probability. Let's see. The more truthful one, according to this, relationships require visibility, access, and mutual attraction. And if those aren't present, nothing just happens. So yeah, if you're not visible, if they don't see you and like you, then nothing else happens, right? And it has to be mutual attraction, right? It's honestly crazy, right? Mutual attraction seems like a thing that almost doesn't exist, because it's like one of those things that never really happened, right? It's only happened like the 2 times with the EGFs, right? And it feels so surreal. It's like, is this even real life? That's how then people will take it for granted, right? Like, think about it. How you think those people in relationships kind of just eventually take it for granted, right? They have to, because like they're fish in water. You eventually don't notice it because you become so accustomed to mutual attraction, or thinking it'll just eventually happen, right? If I just ask out enough, girls eventually one will like me, right? But that's not the case, right? Because that was on the other channel, right? Where the probability, just because you ask out a girl doesn't mean you're getting closer to getting a girlfriend, right? Because the whole thing resets, right? Every girl it's not like you know, it's not like, oh, I got rejected by her, I'm one girl closer. No, because every girl is like an individual, right? So there's an individual chance. So once you fail with one, you have to start again from the beginning with another one, right? That's a whole individual probability. So it's like maybe it's a 1% chance with her, but just because you um got rejected by her, it isn't whatever her chance was minus whatever. It's not like X minus whatever she was, right? Now there's that probability with the next one. Every girl is a whatever, like 1% chance, right? So the odds of getting a girlfriend are even worse than you think. So does forgetting about relationships work for males? Can I just focus on myself and one day I'll get a GF? Short answer for most men, no. Long, honest answer, forgetting about relationships only works under very specific conditions, and most advice ignores that. When forgetting about it does work, it only works if one of these is true. You're already visible to women, looks, status, social circle. Women occasionally show interest without you initiating, like that's ever gonna happen. You're in an environment where dating happens passively. I was in school. Um, yeah, I was in school once, and it didn't happen there. So it's like it's crazy. It's like a lot of school, right? At least high school and college, which is 8 years. So if nothing happens in 8 years, then you can basically say it's over, bro. You've had relationships before and just took pressure off. In those cases, focusing on yourself doesn't stop dating. It just removes anxiety while opportunities still come to you. That's why the advice sounds true to the men giving it. When it does not work, see, it does not work if you're not noticed unless interaction is forced or transactional. You've never had a girlfriend. No woman has ever just appeared in your life. Your daily life has zero romantic entry points. So basically, I'm what is it, 4 for 4. So, it's basically over. In that situation, forgetting about relationships doesn't create space for love. It creates silence. Nothing replaces the effort you removed. The uncomfortable truth, right? The brutal black pill you came for. For men, relationships almost never just happen without visibility, access, initiative, repeated exposure. Unlike the fairy tale version, male dating is opt in, not opt out. If you stop participating and no one is selecting you, it's over, bro. Or more like it never began, right? That's honest. That's the brutal black pill, right? Why focus on yourself gets misunderstood. Self focus helps indirectly, not magically. It only works if what you're building increases external visibility, you're entering new environments where women can see you, your life trajectory intersects with people, not isolation. So basically, it's over for me. What it does not do, it does not summon a girlfriend out of thin air. It does not override attraction filters. It does not fix being unseen. Which is the problem, right? Honestly, it would be nice if, like we said, we could just snap our fingers and, summon a girlfriend out of thin air, right? Wouldn't it be nice, right? If if uh if we could all just Adam Max and have God create a girlfriend out of our ribs, I'm sure a lot of incels would be willing to sacrifice a rib to get a girlfriend, right? So yeah, I don't know. Comment if you would sacrifice A rib. I think that surgery would be the ultimate the ultimate. I don't even know. It's not even a looks and maxing surgery, right? But it's like the ultimate incel black pill surgery, whatever. Just get your rib removed, bro, and donate to science so they can make you a girlfriend, right? just I don't know, remove your rib and offer it to God so He creates you a girlfriend, bro. The real reason people say this, because admitting the alternative would mean saying some men must actively engineer opportunity and some still won't be chosen. That's a brutal black pill, isn't it? It's always playing. Oh, bro, it's like always put in a lot of effort just to buy a lottery ticket, which is basically what it is, right? You're putting in a lot of effort to maybe get a chance, not maybe get an opportunity, like a guaranteed opportunity. It's like maybe get a chance at an opportunity, right? Basically, work your ass off to get a lottery ticket and see if you're a winner. Hope you're a winner, bro. The honest answer to your question, only if focus on myself includes entering new social ecosystems, being seen repeatedly by the same people, accepting that effort is required even when it's unfair, right? Because effort doesn't guarantee anything. Increasing exposure, not inner peace. If focus on myself means gym, work, solo hobbies, waiting, basically what the self-improvement space in self-improvement space guys, alpha males will tell you, right? Just go to the gym, bro. Just work and get your money up, bro. Just go monk mode, bro. So if you do that stuff, you're basically not going to get a girlfriend, right? If you're not already getting attention from women, that's not going to change. So basically it never began. A more accurate reframe. Instead of forget about relationships, the truth is detach emotionally, but stay whatever, dude. It's like whatever BS. Final clarity: forgetting about relationships does not create them. It only stops anxiety if opportunities already exist. For men who are unseen, action plus environment change matter more than mindset. That's not bitterness. That's how probability works. So it's over. So I audit whether my life has any passive dating vectors. So is it possible to just exist, bro, for me, right? Which is honestly how you get a girlfriend, right? Just exist, bro. Let's see. Repeated mixed gender exposure. Do the same women see you regularly in non-transactional settings? Examples: class, workplace, friend group hangouts, clubs, teams, creative groups. If women only see you once or briefly, and well, I mean, the only place a woman would see me often is maybe if she's like a cashier somewhere, but that's forced interaction, right? So basically, no. Likely for you, no. You said interactions are forced or transactional. Social proof visibility. Do women see other people enjoying your presence? Friends laughing with you, people seeking your input, being socially anchored in a group. Solo men are invisible by default, unless extremely attractive. So basically, it's over, bro. Casual conversational access. Well, do women ever talk to you without initiating first? Not flirting, just asking questions. Small talk, comfort level interaction. It's over, bro. Like that one comment that one guy said on the other channel. What do you say, bro? When like women just talk to you, like if you're in an elevator, they just talk to you. It's like that doesn't happen, right? It's like women legit just not. I'm not even talking about like just they want to flirt with you, whatever. It's like not even like basic human non-forced interactions. They just don't happen. If there's no um transactional or forced interaction occurring, a woman isn't going to talk to me, like straight up, plain and obvious. Environment that allows slow attraction. Are you in spaces where attraction can build over weeks, months? Reoccurring hobbies, volunteering, group classes, blah, blah, blah. Bad environments, gyms, dating apps, bars, random public places. Bad environment. So basically, it's over. Non-sexual likability signal. Do women see you as comfortable, grounded, safe? This isn't about being nice. It's about ease, familiarity, emotional neutrality. Likely, it's inconsistent or absent. So based on your text analysis concerns. So basically, it's over. Identity hook, something about you that differentiates you. So yeah, basically it's over, bro. Normal guy who works and goes home. It's over, bro. Uh, Time spent around eligible women. Be honest. How many hours per week are you physically present around single women aged 20 to 35 in relaxed settings? 0 to 2 hours, basically zero chance. 3 to 7, 8 to 15, 15 plus, realistic. Okay, I want to know, how is it even possible, right? I can't even comprehend outside of school. How is it even possible to spend over 15 hours a week around women, right? It's like that just does not seem possible. I would think even spending an hour around women, like, it seems like a lot, right? I mean, at this point, in a relaxed setting, so I mean, yeah, basically zero. So basically zero chance, right? Because there's no there's no setting where what like what like be realistic. Why would a woman ever talk to me, right? There's no reason, right? Because if women don't find me attractive, then why would they ever talk to me, right? And unless like I said, it's transactional, and there's no point, right? Unless they're forced because it's a customer service interaction, or they for some reason are trying to like beg me for money, like a homeless woman or someone wanting gas. Then there's no reason, right? There's no reason for women to ever want to talk to me, right? That's just the honest to God truth. Because women want to talk to guys they find attractive, right? And that just is not going to happen. The verdict: you currently have near zero passive dating vectors. That means TLDR, it never began. That for Okay. Yeah, that it does. That means forget about relationships, or just a quote that are non-functional. But it's funny because it says that means forget about relationships. It never began, bro. Yeah, this does not mean you're broken, doomed, you're inferior. It means your environment does not allow romantic probability to exist. But it's over, right? Passive dating only exists after you've already done active environmental work. Men confuse I stopped trying with I no longer need to try. Completely different situations, right? It's the whole concept, right, of a single guy versus a single and alone guy, right? Single guys think, oh, I don't need to try, so I just got a girlfriend, but because I stopped trying to date, right? But what he's unaware of is that, he still attracts women in some sense, right? He still is surrounded by women to some extent. A single and alone guy, like, aka a real single guy like me or other undesirable males, will not have any women. You will be single and you will not speak to women, interact with women, be around women, unless it's a forced or transactional interaction. What actually matters? Next, stuff that I need. A reoccurring mixed gender environment. That's not going to happen. A role that makes you socially legible. Repeated exposure without pressure. So yeah, so I think the rest of the stuff was kind of not that exciting. Decide honestly whether pursuing a relationship is worth the cost. So is it the time cost, right? To create one real dating vector, you need reoccurring social environments. So the time cost, so you need to sink in time, right? The emotional cost, rejection hits you as a confirmation, not just disappointment. Being unseen hurts more than being told no. So the emotional tax isn't mild, right? It's just trauma farming. This matters. Some people are more emotionally buffered than others. That's not a flaw, it's wiring, aka genetics. Identity. To pursue dating seriously, you need to perform more than feels natural. And are spaces where you're not immediately valued. Tolerate being valued repeatedly. So yeah, so just be judged, bro, constantly, and just be judged as not enough hundreds of times. But don't let it affect you, bro. Opportunity cost. Every hour spent chasing probability is an hour not spent on basically whatever else you want, right? What realistic upside actually is. The upsides for this, for getting a relationship, companionship, physical intimacy, feeling chosen, shared routines, emotional regulation through closeness. But notice none of these are guaranteed. Many relationships are mediocre, not transcendent. A girlfriend does not automatically fix invisibility wounds. So yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, just don't get into a bad relationship. But like I said, most people who give this terrible advice, like, oh man, relationships aren't worth it, bro. Well, that's because you lack the self-awareness and you have was it, you have below room temperature IQ and just aren't able to, filter out why. Do I just want to get into a relationship with this person because, basically because they're a warm body, or because they actually there's actual mutual attraction that it can work past just oh I like uh I like your warm orifices, right? The probability given your starting visibility, your environment, your emotional sensitivity to rejection, the current dating climate. The probability is not zero, but it is work intensive. So it's those things. It's not zero, bro, but it's less than one. It's over. So the question becomes: are you willing to pay a high upfront cost for a low to moderate chance of return? Work a lot to get a lottery ticket, bro. It's like, imagine if you had to spend $1,000 to buy a lottery ticket, right? And how many people win the lottery ticket, right? Imagine if it wasn't just $1 or $5, but $1,000. No one would play it, right? Conditional pursuit, or let's see, yeah, kind of a lot of stuff that I was kind of not really into. It didn't really give me anything that I felt that interesting. Design a life that is complete, even if no one ever chose you, right? What complete actually means, right? Internal coherence. Your days make sense to you. Agency. You decide what matters. Meaningful output. Something exists because you exist. Regulation. Your nervous system isn't constantly activated by lack. Remove romance as a verdict of your worth. That's probably not going to happen, right? That's a very that's something. Oh yeah, bro, just logic your way out of it, right? And it'd be nice to be able to logic my way out of it, right? But at the end of the day, that's just not really human, right? You would have to constantly be thinking. It's like, okay, you can do it, but you would constantly just having you would constantly be just having to push your emotions to the back, right? It's like, oh man, just put all your garbage and your mess in a closet and close the door, right? And eventually the door will burst open and all the garbage will fall out and you gotta shove it back in the closet. That's basically what you're doing, right? But with emotions, and try to just say, "Oh, I'm logical, bro." But at the end of the day, humans are emotional too, right? It's like it's not just all logic. You'd like it's nice to cope and think, "Yeah, bro, I'm logical." But at the end of the day, if you have hormones and you're a human, it's like you're still governed by emotion, right? you can't just be 100% logic, right? Let's just say 110%. All right, build an identity around output, not reception. Oh, just be. I don't even know what is that? It's outcome independent or whatever it is, but who cares? There was another point somewhere. Oh no, that was it. I guess it was a different conversation I had. Right, one sentence, I guess, to end it all. Right, to anchor it all. I will not let something I cannot fully control decide whether my life was worth living. So I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to do that, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, dude, my lack of relationships does not define me. But it'd be nice to do that, right? But I think that's really only possible if you have some other kind of relationships, right? If you have really no relationships in your life, that's the whole lone wolf cope, right? Because, like I said before, what happens to lone wolves in reality, right? When they're kicked out of the pack, you know, they struggle to survive, right? You can maybe have, oh, bro, but there's this one story about one lone wolf, bro, and he survived on his own for years, bro. They tracked him with a tag and whatever. It's like, sure, bro, but that's a cope. That's just survivorship bias, right? You're just using one example out of how many actually failed, right? So you're gonna tell every guy, "Oh, bro, just be the one in a million, bro." So just by the fact that it's a one in a million, that means you. So if you do it, you can't tell other guys, "Oh, I did it, so you can do it, bro." No, by you succeeding, other guys have to lose, basically, right? Because there always has to be that point of comparison, winners and losers. So yeah, TLDR, I don't like performative optimism, and it's just better to keep it real, right? And just accept it, right? That not everyone can be a winner in life, right? Someone has to be a loser, and it sucks for those people, but it is what it is. So yeah, later.